I'll take a few moments to talk about watercolour paint, or my watercolour painting. I'm trying to keep everybody happy here because I'm really into the acrylics at the moment, but I've got to do some watercolours as well. Otherwise, you'll all start leaving. We've been doing abstracts or abstracting landscapes, and I would say that with watercolours, my watercolours, that they could be, or could be argued that they are abstract, because most of them don't exist. I make them up as I go along. So I'm really trying to paint things that I like. Clumps of trees on flat landscapes, some reflections, dramatic skies. Probably you'd have to look all your life to find a landscape that looks exactly like one I painted, or a sky indeed. So once again, I've got an idea in my head, something with some rocks, something with a bit of water, something with trees, and something with a sky. But I'll try to take liberties where I can to really try to enhance the things that I like. So I try to paint what I feel about the landscape rather than what is actually there. And maybe some of you are having a go at the abstracting and making things up yourself, getting away from the crutch of copying nature. Yesterday I went with my wife, to Trafalgar Square, to the National Gallery in London, and the Portrait Gallery, which is round the corner, and we spent a couple of hours walking around. We've been there so many times. Nice to see, sorry about the slurping tea, nice to see new acquisitions, especially in the Impressionist section of the National. And well, it's always an exhilarating experience, and of course the Impressionists are always the most popular. And in the Portrait Gallery, there's a lovely display of 20th century dignitaries, actors, politicians, generals and the like. So I came back, but I thought we'd just sit and catch up with some catch-up TV yesterday afternoon by the time we got back. So an easy day. So I've got the morning free, so I'm going to have a go at this watercolour, and then I'm going to go back to the acrylics. And before I do, I'll show you what I did yesterday before I left for the galleries. I primed these three small 10 by 8 boards with texture paste, well not texture paste, with homemade texture paste using the PVA glue, and I troweled them on with, I troweled the plaster of Paris in just to see what happens. Well, I've done one or two before, but I've sort of exaggerated this. It's pretty hard surface, so I imagine it's pretty durable, but if you've got a frame to put your paintings in when you finish, and I always try to paint for the frame and not the other way around, try to keep the edges a bit flat, otherwise it's going to hold your board off the frame, off the back of the rebate in the frame. So there we are, so they're ready to go, all nice and dry and stable, I would think. So we'll wet the paper all over, and then got my palette handy. I'm working between the acrylics and watercolour. Things are in different places, and I'm using a different easel. I don't take this one down, I'll leave it up now, this herring easel. It's a lovely easel. I like my box easel as well, but since I'm doing everything, I think it's good to have the two easels. The one behind, to the other side, is my studio easel, where I like to work almost upright, but not quite. I'm just going to put a glove on, because if I hold the rag in my left hand, my skin is very dry now because of all this water I'm using. I'm not a lover of putting cream on my hands. I don't like greasy hands. Right. So I bought a pack of 100, box of 100 of these latex gloves. I know a number of you are getting your acrylics out now and having a go, but I hope I can give you some nudges in the right direction. But I don't paint to a rule or formula. I just do it. I love doing it. I'm having some good fun. If you get a chance to look on Facebook, to Fiona Hooper. She's an old friend. I used to do a lot of carpet work for her years ago, and it turned out she was an artist as well, but a far better artist than me. And she's got this lovely little group not far away from here. I've done one demonstration for them, and I'm going to do another one in April. But I was wondering why. She's just put a lovely little demonstration of her own on Facebook, and it's absolutely superb. Beautiful painting of the garment. Does she want me to do it? She should do another one herself. Right, okay, so colour, bit of burnt sienna, and a bit of alizarin crimson, why not? Let's just, oh, that's a bit muddy. That's the problem with not cleaning your palette or being scrupulous enough. That's better. Right, let's have a bit more sienna. That's cleaner. That's better. Oh, nice. And a bit of light red down into the horizon. If we're going to put some water here, might put a rocky lake, a bit like a Scottish loch. Mixed a bit, both reds there. Okay, now we can get a nice grey ultramarine. Plenty of nice. So I always start the right hand side because I'm right handed, obviously, and get some good, there's a bit of sienna in that. Let's get that. Oh, go for it. Never know quite how these are going to turn out, the skies, but that looks interesting. Now I'm going to dry that. I want to fix it because I quite like that. See, now that's an abstract sky. It doesn't exist, it's made up, and I've lost me, oh god, there's my cloth. Good cloth on both knees here. Right, the reason I fixed that is I didn't want it to run right down. It's gone a little bit wrong there, but never mind. Put in some nice trees in. Oh, let's have a bit of a mountain, bit of blue, bit of that. No, I don't want to come up into that sky. Mix the colours. Nice colours, nice warm, rich sienna, burnt sienna. I love burnt sienna. Bit of yellow in there, bit of grey. Okay. I was going to do trees, but I've gone into that because I've done it so many times. Probably it's my brush just does it. Get some yellows in there. Okay, put some. Let's do some rocks in there. Just re-clip the paper. When it expands, just keep it flat. Just stretch it in the clips. Right. Put a bit of red there. Let's just drag that down. bit of blue. Some blue in there. Right, let's drag in a bit of reflection in there. Leave some white there. Maybe not there, but some a beach. Put several colours on your brush at the same time. The blue and bit of grey in there. Okay. Right, let's get in some nice rocky stuff. I know you like rocks and watching me scrape out, but I know sometimes I overdo it. Some more dark in there. If you want your rocks to really sing, just paint dark warms, so that when you scrape off you've got a mixture of the colours. Right. So scraping out the light on the rocks and leaving some shadow. The paint then forms a shadow of the rock, the base. Okay, so some rocks there. We can put some stuff coming up from behind these. So I'm a bit more creative than I am. I'm just doing that. Right, okay. We've got some nice things happening here, so let's... I don't really want to change that, I quite like that. But I will. I was going to put in some more shadow, some more reflection. Let's do that. Just moving my cloth. Bit of green. I'm going to put some grasses sticking up in that. Right, a bit of that blue. Just sort of reflecting. And we've got a green showing here. Right, so I've got a bit of reflection in. I've brought that colour down into that bit of reflecting lake there. That's gone a bit messy. I might put some rocks in there just to alleviate some of that here. No, I might put a bit of a bush in there, just sticking up there. Okay, I'm going to dry that now. Pity about that, just a little bit there. Take your headphones off. let's. I've got this number 8 sable. Let's have a go with it. Let's see. It's a swig of tea first. I'll put a big bird over that. Right. Let's get an autumn scent. I'll mix a bit of burnt umber. There's my palette. You know what it is by now. But if you don't, it's lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, night red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey, and burnt sienna. A nice bit of mix of lights and bright. So let's get something. Leave plenty of air holes. Just a nice red and blue in there, a bit of shadow. And by the time I get some trunks and branches in there, that will just show this. Bit of reflection there. Right, okay. So a bit of texture in there, a shadow. Okay, and no more with that. I want to put in some rigger work over here, coming out from in front of. Now I sense a silhouette. Okay, that'll do. That's a reasonable enough tree. Let's put just a few bit of dry brush on that. Darkish dry brush, burnt umber, bit of burnt sienna, a bit of Payne's grey. Let's just. Okay, so that's a balance to that. Focus is in the centre. I'll probably put a couple of little yots on there. Right, let's do a bit on the. I want to warm those rocks up in the foreground. I don't think they're too good. They haven't come out as good as I thought. So let's put a bit of warm sienna on them. Some raw sienna. No, I think they're a bit not very good. So Harry's come up to see you. Hi Harry. Don't drink the water, Harry. There he is. He's kind of almost 8 months old now. He's a very welcome guest. Just anchor that middle, just bring it together. We can maybe put a bit of, cover that rock up a bit. Okay, that's pretty red in there. Right, enough of that. Rigger. It's surprising how quickly you get out of the way of painting with watercolour when you change your medium, as I have. So I suppose it's good for me that I do the watercolours as well while I work on the acrylics, because it keeps the techniques going. Right, let's put a bit of a focus on that now. I'll use a little bit of acrylic white for this. Give my palette some air. Okay. Right, let's put one up here. There's a bit of water in it. Harry, go away. Don't drink the water. Might have been better if I'd lifted that out rather than... Yeah. It's not worked, is it? Right, I'll take that out. I'll just take this brush, this nylon brush here. Harry, leave the water alone. Not very good. Wait. He's quite harmless to cats. Got a bit of white with some gouache. Let's see if we get. The trouble is, if you don't use your gouache, it goes off in the tube. It gets stiff. It's getting very stiff now. That's why I use the acrylic, because gouache, that little tube of gouache was a fiver. That's a bit better. Right, no more. that will do. Right, I'll put it in a mount. Well, I better sign it, isn't I? Harry. Yeah, let's do the bird trick. Put one here. Nothing like drawing your attention to it, but well. Right, put it in a mount, and then we'll see what we've done. Then back to the acrylics. Let's put it higher. So let's just cut some of those rocks out. The rocks are not very good, so I apologise for those. Right, so there we are. Let's bring you round. I'll just raise the camera up. I'm trying to get you more square on, and my balls are at an angle. This is very, very difficult to do. Well, there we are. So it doesn't look too bad. So there we are. It's an abstract watercolour, only for the fact that it was completely fabricated. It doesn't exist. I made it up as I went along. As you can see, some bits worked out. That's quite reasonable. That's okay. Some of the water's okay, but it's what it is. Try new things. Don't try and copy. Get away from the habit of copying. Everybody copies. That's how you start, but eventually you really will run out of ideas, as I have. So you need to find other ways of expressing yourself, and with your experience you can start to abstract. You can start to paint what you feel about something and enhance it, change it around, and make a piece of art out of it. There ends the lesson. Right, thanks for watching. Bye bye.